Hey guys, it's Andrew Grattan with Campbell and Brandon Sandy Springs. I'm sure you guys have noticed, but terminations are up this year by a good amount. And one of the practical ways we can help our sellers is to allow them to be open to accepting backup contracts or backup agreements. Good news, GAR's got a form for that, and you're probably familiar with it. It's F604. Rather than just talking about how the form operates, I just wanted to go over a couple of practical considerations with respect to backup offers. We are asked from time to time about whether or not a buyer is required to turn in earnest money at the time that the backup agreement goes binding. And unless the parties stipulate around that, the answer to that question is yes. The buyer is required to put up earnest money within the time frame noted on the backup agreement, which does run from the time that the backup agreement is signed through however many days are allotted for the turning in of the earnest money. And we think that's best practice. One, it shows good faith on the side of the buyer that they are serious about that backup offer. And two, it avoids any kind of lag between the time that the primary agreement terminates and our backup agreement becomes effective. We don't have to wait then another 2, 3, however many days for the buyer to turn in the earnest money. We know that it's already on file. One other practical consideration with backup offers is all of the contingency time frames other than earnest money and the closing date will run from the time that our backup agreement becomes the primary agreement, which is when the primary agreement that we are behind terminates and we become in first position. When selecting a closing date for a backup agreement, you don't want to put a fixed date in there because we aren't sure at the time that we go binding on the backup agreement when we'll get to first position. So best practice there would probably be to put a stipulation in the backup agreement which says that the closing date shall be 30 days from the date that the primary contract, which is the contract in front of us, terminates and we become in first position. If you have any questions on this topic or anything else, feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to help. Thanks.